The key is when you reduce your lifetime accumulated stress load, your restore, repair, and recovery rate increases, right? But as your lifetime accumulated stress load goes up, your restore, repair, and recovery rate goes down. So even if you get 8-9 hours of sleep, the next day you wake up, you're tired. Eyes are heavy, you need a cup of joe, maybe you need to go to the gym, run, or do some cardio for 15-20 minutes just to wake up.
Is this lifetime accumulated stress that you're talking about connected to mom and dad?
Oh, it is inherently connected to mom and dad, right? So basically, if you look at a baby when it comes out, right? It's made up of the egg and the seed, okay? So all your mom and dad's experiences before the point of conception, right, is being plugged into this child. And everyone thinks a baby comes out like, it's a new baby, it's perfect. Not at all. You go underneath the skin, underneath the surface, and there's already massive amounts of stress that are in the child. And so then the parents create an environment, right, where they can raise their children. And if the parents haven't done their homework, if the parents haven't reduced their lifetime accumulated stress load just to neutral, I'm not even talking about to pleasure. I'm just talking about getting all the pain out of your body, right? All the stagnation to neutral. Their child is hired and required to act out those unconscious and subconscious stress patterns that are being plugged in from the outside. They already have it on the inside. It's already been passed through the epigenetics. Now the environment is reinforcing it, right? And look at kids today, right? Look, let's be honest. When my mom is from the coal regions in Pennsylvania, okay? I grew up there. There were kids at 12, 13 years old. They're drinking three or four 40s a night on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night, right? Like they're already getting heavily chemicalized, right? They're already getting severely toxic and stressed. So imagine what it's like by the time they're ready to produce children, right? And to host them, and they haven't dealt with any of the unconscious stress. And in Pennsylvania, you just sweep things underneath the rug. I never had an emotional conversation with anyone, my entire life while living in Pennsylvania. What do you want to watch for TV, Nan? Oh, let's watch this. Okay, hey, would you go to the grocery store? Oh, would you do this? Like all task-oriented conversation, but we never had any emotional conversation.
Nothing deeper.
Like, why do you, when you come home at night, like, why are you reading the crossword and drinking a 6-pack and smoking a half-pack of cigarettes?
Something more there.
Yeah, like, why is that your go-to at 65 years old? You know what I mean? So, we have been plugged in with stress because we come from ancestors that lived in survival-based states, and they employed survival-based state strategies in order to avoid punishment, rejection, humiliation, violence, discomfort, and pain. Okay? And once you employ that strategy, you're not being yourself, and then your nervous system is like, this is not who I am. And now that creates a whole nother load of stress at an emotional, psychological level, right? So imagine this little baby we were talking about earlier that comes out. If he or she is ushered into a family where mom and dad have reduced their lifetime accumulated stress load, this is a baby that's easy to raise, super easy to raise, because they're operating from a space of neutrality. They learn super fast. They're calm and peaceful and grounded. If they cry, it's only because they're experiencing a level of discomfort that they can't solve themselves. Okay? They're giving you a clue into what they need. And then when you have parents that are in neutral, they pull back all their false projections that they have about the child, and they give the child enough space to explore their environment without projecting their own fears or their own disappointments or their own confusions or anxieties onto the child. And then we start raising conscious children.
Which makes so much sense, because sometimes for me, I'm like, shoot, am I even ready for a kid? I was like, I got this to deal with, and I feel this, And to think how many of us are just unconscious in our own stress states,
Yes.
our own lifetime accumulated stress, as we're talking about, and going and having children unconsciously. And I can totally see that. It's like multiple levels. As you mentioned, passing it on genetically, all of that information, not only you, but your dad and your mom, and their dad and their mom. This is really how the generational trauma gets passed on.
Yeah.
But then what really stuck with me, what you were saying, is how we affect the environment just on the day-to-day level, away from the genetics, the epigenetic part of it. And the child so sensitive and open, feeling that, right? So we carry on those traumas. So how many of us are really authentically raising a child? I talk about authentically being who you are, but like, we're not even really authentically raising our children, right? Zero, and giving the space for that, which is incredible. So what does it look like to authentically raise a child? What does the space look like for that child?
The space looks like the parents spending about 2 or 3 years really reducing their lifetime accumulated stress and working at a level of meditation, right? Working at a level of body work to take the pain and the discomfort out of the body, intermittent fasting, cleaning up and doing detoxes, cleaning out the organs, having the deep conversations with your mom and your dad that you never had, right? Clearing up that all out of the way, getting those disappointments, attracting a partner that balances you out. If you're a female, you're attracting a partner that makes you feel safe. If you're a male, you're choosing a woman who supports you and celebrates you rather than emasculates you. And that creates a very conducive environment for two people to be conscious enough to understand the delicate nature of love and to be able to respect it and to be able to develop it and to be able to build it. Because when you take two humans who are in neutral, they give each other enough space to be themselves without interfering with their own fears and anxieties and projections, because they have the ability to communicate. Hey, when you said this in this way, I realized I started to feel really anxious, and it reminded me of how my dad used to raise his voice to my mom. And so then rather than get passive aggressive like I usually do, I want to sit down and have a conversation about it and admit that underneath I've been feeling and thinking these kinds of things, and can we open a space there? And through having that kind of clear communication and developing the relationship for a few years, then the parents can be in a place of going, yeah, you know what? I feel safe, I feel comfortable, I feel confident, I feel supported and cared for. Are we ready to bring a child into this world and be really good hosts? Because if you're not going to be a really amazing host, what's the point of you having children? You're only passing along all of the disappointments, all of the confusion, all of the anger, all of the self-righteousness that you were raised under off to your children. And now they're going to do the homework for you. And it's funny because I have a lot of parents who call me up that are usually around the age of like 50, between 50 and 59. And they're like, hey, listen, my daughter's a total mess. And she's doing this and this and this and this. And I'm listening and listening and listening. I go, at some point in conversation, I have to go, okay, we have to have a different conversation now. I can't work with your daughter. And they're like, well, why can't you work with my daughter? Because you're the one who needs the help. Okay, your child is acting out in response. Her behaviors match exactly the life experience that you had from womb until 13. You're the solution. Then I'll work with your daughter, right? So, and it's funny, I tell parents when I'm working with them, like, look, if you don't deal with your stuff, I don't want your kid calling me 30 years from now going, hey, can me and my mom come and talk to you? Like, this should already be handled. So how do we handle that, right? The question that is a really big question for the people who are listening right now is, you have to reduce your lifetime accumulated stress load. And what are we talking about when we say stress, right? mental stress, emotional stress, energetic stress, structural stress, chemical stress. There's so many forms of stress, but there's if you get the basics down, it's going to increase and inform your body, your brain, and your nervous system to become more intelligent. And the more intelligent you are physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you get to navigate your environment and produce the result that you want. And if you give humans a choice between love, a loving relationship, or anger-filled dramatic relationship, my feeling is most would want to have the experience of a loving, supporting relationship. Okay? But if I don't reduce my lifetime accumulated stress load, at some point, I will be in a harsh, dramatic relationship and that needs to be dealt with.
Hello, everyone. I want to talk about Birch Living. This is a partner I've been working with for quite some time now. You know that sleep is super important to me. It is essential that I'm getting a good night's sleep, because if I'm not waking up rejuvenated and ready to go, my whole day sabotage, my whole week is sabotage. Sleep, sleep, sleep. Now, Birch is a premium mattress in a box company, and they make mattresses and sleep products that are stylish, comfortable, and environmentally conscious. They have organic, non-toxic mattresses, very important, the word non-toxic, and it's made right here in the United States. It's important for me to choose a mattress that's made organic with natural materials, because I'm going to sleep comfortably knowing that I'm not being exposed to harmful off-gassing throughout the night and throughout the life of the bed. And Birch Mattress is Green Guard Gold certified, which is ensuring that through the third-party label that I'm being protected. Now, I have my Birch mattress for about 8 months now. I love it. What I love most is, one, the breathability. When I'm laying in bed, the airflow is such that I'm not waking up in the middle of the night sweating or in the morning drenched. I love how it's supporting my pressure points, especially when I'm laying down. A lot of beds are pushing on your pressure points, so you're waking up with an achy back or tight hamstrings or your shoulders hurting. This is allowing me to feel like I'm being held by a cloud. It's allergen and mildew resistant, very important, and also made of raw materials sourced straight from nature. So I'm not getting any synthetic materials in this bed that I'm laying on for 8 hours at a time. So with your Birch mattress, you're going to get a 100-night sleep trial along with a 25-year warranty. Now, if it makes you nervous to buy something that you haven't tried, you get more than 3 months to make sure you love it. If you don't, then we're going to come pick it right up from you, and you're going to get a full refund. Now, the best thing is that Birch delivers a mattress right to your door, and it's free in the United States. And it comes rolled up in a box and super easy to set up yourself. So I love my Birch mattress. I really, really think you would too. So if you're looking for a new bed, check out Birch. You can click the link below or go to birchliving.com/heal-thyself, and you're gonna get $400 off of your mattress plus 2 free pillows. Taking Ned's Mellow Magnesium is super impactful. I take the day one and the night one. The night one really, really helps me get a restful sleep. The day one gets me going, especially my bowel movements. But Mellow Magnesium is a powerful daily magnesium supplement. It's got amino acids and trace minerals. And you'll notice, because magnesium is essential for human health, you'll see a boost in memory, mood, brain function, your response to stress, nerve and muscle health, and overall sleep. With Ned's Mellow Magnesium, I'm experiencing better sleep, less stress, 100%, because magnesium is utilized, especially by our adrenals, when we are stressed with cortisol. Less inflammation. I utilize Mellow Magnesium twice a day when I'm working out, and less pain. So sleeping better from Mellow Magnesium has been a game changer. I wake up feeling more rested, rejuvenated, and ready to go for the day. What I love about Ned's products is that they're science-backed and nature-based. And their products are full of premium CBD and full spectrum of active cannabinoids, terpenes, flavonoids, and trichomes. Their full-spectrum hemp oil nourishes the body's endocannabinoid system and helps offer functional support for stress, sleep, inflammation, and just overall balance. Ned CBD is extracted from the world's purest USDA-certified organic hemp in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. Ned's a fully transparent company, which I love most about them. They share third-party lab reports. You can go on their website and see it. You can see who farms their products. You can learn about the extraction process. You can see COAs for each and one of their ingredients, every ingredient, every product. That's the best of the best when it comes to company transparency. So become the best version of yourself, right? Get 15% off of Ned products with the code DRG, or go to helloned.com/DRG, enter the code DRG at checkout. That's HELLONED.com/DRG to get 15% off. And as always, thank you, Ned, for sponsoring the show and offering our Heal Thyself listeners a natural remedy for some of life's most common health issues.
The parents have to go in with conscious intent to become the best version of themselves, and then to pass that off to the child, because it's about the environment, right? The epigenetics are still going to get passed on from grandmom and great-grandmom and grandpa and great-grandpa, at least 4 to 7 generations, right, of stuff is coming through. And you look at the United States and you think, well, what's the United States? We're a country of peasants, okay? And people say, what do you mean we're a country of peasants? Well, what happened? The peasants from all over the world came to the United States because they were like, hey, there's a place we can go where we can, if we put in good effort and we're conscious, we work hard and we're consistent, we can build a life for ourselves, and we can get our necks out from under the boots of the upper hierarchy above us. And so we're essentially made from that stock, right? Like, anyone here, go back 5 or 6 generations and you'll find some peasants, okay? So we're now evolving in society to a point where we realize that we actually have conscious choice. Where before there wasn't choice. My mom didn't have a lot of choices. She was a woman, right? So her choices were very limited in the 60s. Could she go out and like become a professional basketball player? Probably not. Okay, could she have the fantasy of wanting to start her own company? No, those choices were very limited because we lived in a limited society. But the children that are being born today, the girls and the boys, they have so much depth and breadth that they can tap into. So if you're going to have a child, as a parent, you got to think like, my kids are going to have opportunities that I never had. What do I need to do to prepare myself? Because 20 years from now, right, that newborn baby is going to be in college or in some kind of institution to educate themselves. The way that we look at reality now, 20 years from now, is going to be very different. So how do I stay current, right? So here's a parent. They don't take care of themselves. Women are having children older, right? I know women are having children in their 40s, mid-40s, okay? Their brains have lost so much neuroplasticity, right? Well, guess what? 20 years from now, the world is going to be even more dynamic. Do you want to be losing neuroplasticity, or do you want to be gaining it, right? Do you want to reduce the toxins in your body, your brain, and your nervous system so you can be current with whatever's going on around you? Yeah, you might chronologically be aging, but biologically, you could stop the clock if you simply reduced your lifetime accumulated stress load. Your restore, repair, and recovery rate goes up, and now you're present. So when your baby's crying at 4 o'clock in the morning, you got to get up and feed her. Yeah, I only slept 4 hours, but I feel fabulous, right? And now my child has a present parent, because when I nod off, I'm dropping down into 4th stage regenerative sleep, right? The sleep of a newborn baby, versus like I'm getting into 2nd stage sleep and I'm just waving in and out. And I'm waking up tired and exhausted. Now I got to take this baby and she's hungry and I got to give her energy, but then I need energy for my relationship. I need energy for my work. I need energy for my passion. So reducing the lifetime accumulated stress loads gives the parents an opportunity to be present. And when you're present, you're more loving, you're more understanding, you're more open-minded, you're more helpful, you're more powerful, you have better boundaries, you communicate more clearly, you're authentically self-expressed. And that, you said that earlier, the word authentically. You're authentically self-expressed. And that's the greatest gift you can give your child, because if a child can grow up in a household with a parent that's authentically self-expressed, that parent will give them space to be themselves.
That really resonates, man. And how many, none of us really are like fully even making sure that we're letting go of that lifetime stress. A lot of us are unconsciously just having children because that's what we do at this age.
Yeah.
And because our friends on Facebook are getting married and, oh, it's our time to get married and have kids. And sometimes there's no intentionality behind it. And there's many parents, the best meaning parents, like, I love you, husband, or I love you, wife, I love you, boyfriend, I love you, girlfriend, I love you, whatever the couple is. And then bringing a child into the world, what a gift, but what a responsibility. And responsibility past, I'm going to help feed and nurture and raise this child, but responsibility even past that, we need to deal with our own shit before we even bring intentionally, and I love the word that you used, host.
Host.
We are hosting
a soul.
Hosting a soul, right? To really nurture it while we, even before, made sure that we dealt with our shit. We let go of that trauma.
Yeah.
And because I know children, even if they don't have language, they're watching their parents communicate. They know the energy of anger. They know the energy of resentment. They know when dad or mom feels a certain way and they leave the room. They even need to conceptualize it. They feel it. That's internalizing the kid, isn't it?
Yeah, because what happens is children read vibration, right? Adults have forgotten how to read vibration because their brains are so dense. So this week, it's funny that we're having this conversation. What do you think I spent doing this week? I spent my week with 2 parents and their 8-month-old baby. An 8-month-old baby was in the sessions. And I was attempting to get the parents to understand, like, goo goo gaga at 8 months old. Like, what are you doing? Like, this is your child. You got to tune in to this thing. And I started tuning in, and they were like, I can't believe what's going on right now. You talk to her and she responds to exactly what you say. I said, from now on, you need to talk to your 8-month-old daughter like she is an adult. You're looking at this baby and you're thinking like, ooh, it's this tiny little, this is not a toy. You don't watch it crawl around and make faces and just take pictures. Like, this is an highly intelligent, conscious being inside of a baby's body. But the consciousness is millions of years old. Okay, this is a highly intelligent spiritual being. And I said, okay, let's play. And I started talking to their baby. And the baby started responding to literally everything that I was saying. I said, you got to give your baby choices. Like, imagine if they wanted to go to the grocery store, they wouldn't even ask her if she wanted to go. They just pick her up, put her in the carriage, walk her to the car, right? Or, and then throw her in there and go to the grocery store and put her in here. And you're not even asking this baby if it wants to go. Why are you not at they're part of your family. If you were going to the grocery store, do you get to just pick up your wife and throw her in a carriage? And what would she do if you did that?
Man, she would leave the house real quick.
Yes, yeah, she'd be highly upset if you took your lady and did that, right? So why would you do this to this other being? Like, you've got to communicate with them. So I began speaking with her as an adult, and she was understanding everything that I was saying because I wanted them to understand that words are vibration. Children read energy, okay? And if you give them options, so now, instead of just putting on what they want to put on her, they give her options. Okay? And they hold 2 outfits up. And she reaches towards one. It's okay, we'll take that one. She knows exactly what she wants when she wants it. And all they have to do is communicate with the child.
And that's how you tune in.
That's how you tune in. I talked to her all the time when she was there. Okay, so how was your day? And did you get a good night's sleep? And she winked at me. I got a good night's sleep. Okay. Did you have any dreams? And your dreams disturbing? Oh, they were very good. And then she waves her hands. Okay.
Wow.
And she communicates with me the entire time. And the parents are sitting there like flabbergasted. And then she starts talking to me, right? And I can hear her thoughts. And she's like, oh, my tummy's hurting. And then, so okay, rub her belly and do this for her and do that. And before you knew it, the dad was talking to her and she was crawling up the steps.
Wow.
And he was saying, okay, listen, bring your hip back 3 inches and lift your left leg. And then she pulled her hip back and started lifting her left leg and she got on the next step.
Wow.
Versus like, goo goo gaga. And you have to let children have an opportunity to self-soothe. Most moms, as soon as the baby's crying, they want to run over there, grab the child up. Until the child gives you a clue that it wants to go to you, you should give it time to soothe. It needs to learn to soothe itself. If you don't do that, you'll raise a child who's looking for codependent, dependent relationships. Let them self-soothe and then wait. They totally give you a sign and then they reach for you. And as soon as they reach for you, you're there.
Just thinking like the way that you are putting into perspective the intelligence of a child.
Yes.
Is beyond what many people will ever hear or have ever heard.
Yeah.
Right? To think that a child can respond to the vibration of being seen as a really powerful, ancient wisdom that is baby, which is incredible, right?
Yeah.
And the way that, and well-meaning, but we, in many ways, just depersonify a child to just like this toy. And it's like, wow, look at this baby that's helpless and I need to nurture it. And then look at, oh, beautiful, more pictures. Beautiful, yeah? But like, you said tuning in. We have to tune into our child. And imagine who's going to tune in best? Parents. With their child. So even more strongly than you have. Just tuning into the baby and really.
The mom said to me at the end of the week, it's like my child, you're its mom.
Wow.
You respond and know what she needs sooner than I know. I just said, because I tune in. I'm tuning into your child. And I'm looking at your child as an adult. I'm not looking at your child as a helpless baby.
And maybe that shift just in empowerment of like, my perspective on this being is more of like, you are an empowered being.
Yes.
And that energy is felt.
Yeah.
And communicated with.
And the child feels it.
Yeah, and the child feels it. Exactly, that's what I'm getting at. So I saw this video of this dad was sitting down Indian style by the door and his son was crying, like really crying, tantrum. And he had his back to the dad and he's hitting the floor. He's like maybe 2 years old. Just started walking, you can tell. And like crying and slapping the floor. And after like really a minute, 60 seconds or more, then the baby turns around, looks at the dad, and then reaches.
Yep.
And then the dad goes and holds the baby.
That's right.
And I was watching how powerful that was.
Yeah.
Because in my head, I was like, oh, when is this dad going to do anything about this? No. And then I'm like, no, the dad is doing it exactly when the baby.
That's right.
And that's the choice you're talking about, right?
Yeah. Because if your child doesn't understand that they have choices, they rely on you to solve all their problems and make their choices. And then when they're 13 and they want to start to make choices, you think they're in rebellion.
Gotcha.
Right? No, you set that up. Like, I can't tell you how many moms I've talked to, like, my daughter was my best friend until she turned 13. No, your daughter was good at mimicking an environment and avoiding punishment, rejection, humiliation, violence, discomfort, and pain. If you would have given your child choices from day one, okay, like, would you like me to rub your back or would you like me to rub your head? That's a simple question you ask your baby. And your baby will give you a sign. And then you've got to be able to read what the child is telling you, right? And it's like, okay, and then you rub the head and oh, it loves it. And they say, okay, I would like to rub your belly. Are you okay with that? No, I don't want you to rub my belly. I want you to keep rubbing my head, okay? Because you have to understand that the child has choice. And if you don't make it realize that it has choice by asking it and giving it things to respond to, then you're making a bunch of assumptions. And it will allow you to keep making those assumptions and hands all the power of its life over to you.
And then when it's 13, 14.
Believe me.
And now it's like, wait, I have a choice.
That's right.
I'm in school and I get to choose if I want to do baseball or tennis right now. And then that choice comes into the home and then it starts really becoming, what I think it's just like with everything, when you're fully one way and it's being pushed, there's a rebound effect and it's so much more dramatic.
Yes, it's so much more dramatic because the child has all the clogged up emotional energy that it didn't express because you kept interfering. You never actually asked if it wanted to go to the mall in the wintertime at 3:00 in the afternoon, right? Why would you not ask that? Why would you not ask a 2-year-old if that's what it wants to do?
Yeah.
This is not a dog, okay? Like, you talk to your pets too, right? Like communicate with them on a whole nother level. And then once you start reading their signs and their style of communication, you get it. And then it's like now the parent and the baby are in sync. I mean, we had the best time. Her name's Kaya. She's absolutely beautiful. Well, the thing is this, her parents reduced their lifetime accumulated stress load down to neutral before they had the baby.
Right.
So when this baby goes anywhere, everyone stops because you're looking basically at a free child.
And that's very alien to so many people.
So many people. Like literally, he's walking and there's cars that are stopping because you're getting to experience and feel this child's light rather than this parent's stress embedded inside of this baby.
So powerful to even think about, man.
But think about that. Like I got to spend my week with a free child.
One of my favorite partners at Heal Thyself, Athletic Greens. This is a product I use every single day. And I started taking this because I'm always on the go. And I'm usually not getting in my greens, especially on the days that I'm running around. So I need to take it in the form of powder, on-the-go drink. Now, the beautiful thing is that I'm getting 75 different high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source, superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens, and it's helping me get my day right. The other thing that I really love is that it doesn't taste earthy and grassy like so many of these green powders. Athletic Greens actually has a mild tropical taste that I look forward to every single morning. Contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals, no artificial anything, and it tastes good. It supports better sleep, better recovery, better mental clarity, and alertness. AG1 by Athletic Greens, it's a small micro habit. It has big benefits. It's one thing you could do every single day to take great care of yourself. Now, I only partner with brands I truly believe in. You already know this. And Athletic Greens is one of them. It's a great company, and it's focused on a really, really important topic, and that's sustainability. For one, they're climate neutral certified company. So in 2020, they purchased carbon credits that support projects protecting old growth rainforests. So additionally, for every purchase, they donate to organizations helping kids get nutritious food, including No Kid Hungry here in the United States. And in 2020, Athletic Greens donated over 1.2 million meals to children. So I want you to try Athletic Greens out. Try it in the mornings like I do. Make a drink. You could add some almond milk or coconut milk or just water like I do. And to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with the first purchase. All you got to do is visit athleticgreens.com/healthyself. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/healthyself to take ownership of your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Thank you, Athletic Greens. All right, everyone, this product has been a lifesaver for my sleep. So many of the brands that I bring in are for sleep, and that's not a coincidence because it's essential. So while we hear the average adult get 7 to 9 hours of sleep at night, it's not always possible. Right? So more of us are forced to make lifestyle changes to get deeper and deeper sleep. Now, the good news is that research has shown that quality of sleep matters just as much as quantity. And have you ever asked yourself, what is the quality of sleep that you're getting? Now, the first half of the night, that's your deep sleep window. When things start to drop, right? Your heart rate, your breathing, your blood pressure, your muscle activity, even your body temperature. Now, since that temperature drop is such a crucial aspect of the deep sleep stage, finding your way to activate that sleep switch will help increase your levels of deep sleep. And that's where one of my new favorite products, the Chili Sleep, comes in. Now, Chili Sleep is customizable, climate-controlled sleep solutions to help you improve your entire well-being. Chili Sleep makes the new Doc Pro, the Euler, and the Cube sleep systems hydro-powered, temperature-controlled mattress toppers that fit over your existing mattress to provide ideal sleep temperature. I love this. So I keep my side of the bed at like 74, and my partner will keep it at 79. And it's a beautiful thing because our inherent temperatures are being satisfied and we're staying cool. So regardless of the temperature of the room, my body is staying cool the whole night. I haven't sweat once with this stuff. It's amazing. These luxury mattress pads keep your bed at the perfect temperature for deep sleep. So whether you sleep hot or you're inherently cold, these sleep systems are designed to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and give you the confidence and energy to power through your day. Now imagine waking up and not feeling tired and not feeling sweaty. Chili Sleep is amazing because it makes it happen. For an extra layer of comfort, they also make the Chili blanket, the only weighted blanket that can also be paired with a control unit for the ultimate sweat-free sleep. One of my favorite things is that you can put these systems on airplane mode, so you don't have to worry about Wi-Fi being utilized when you sleep. And that's really important for me to have the whole bed off from dirty electricity. On top of that, they test our mattress topper for PFAS, which is really important, the water-resistant chemical, so I know I'm not bringing toxins into my bedroom. So head over to chilisleep.com/DRG and learn more and save 30% off of the purchase of any new sleep systems. This offer is available exclusively to Dr. G listeners and only for a limited time. Again, that's Chili, CHILI, sleep.com/DRG, and take advantage of our exclusive discount and wake up refreshed every single day. Man, you just changed my whole perspective. I thought I was sort of ready for kids. Man, I'm ready to do my full, at least get to neutral, maybe even get to pleasurable.
Yeah.
And then bring in a child, because I think my responsibility as a parent, any responsibility as a parent, is to deal with their stuff, get to a place where they host the baby, and then the baby's empowered to be like, I'm a conscious, free being.
Yes.
And that child becomes whatever it's supposed to become.
Yeah.
And more likely than not, helping the world in a really powerful way.
Yeah, because, when children are given the space to explore their environment without worrying, like, Kai was crawling around what I call my healing lab, right? She's crawling around and she's like bumping her head, not really hard, but lightly against things. And I could see her parents were a little stressed. And I was like, she's attempting to figure out where her head is in space. You have to let her bump her head. They're like, what do you mean I have to let her bump her head? You have to let her bump her head. Okay. And so she gets like a little bump, and then we go into the living room where I have really like thick hardwood furniture. And literally after that experience, she navigates her head around everything now.
Wow.
That happened in one day.
Wow.
In one day, she is now aware of where her head is in space. Okay. She can take like a little shaker that you use for rhythm, and she knows that this shaker makes a sound. And she's the one making the sound, and it's her movement that's actually causing it. She understands cause and effect now.
Wow.
In 3 days.
Wow.
In 3 days, she understands cause and effect because we gave her enough space to explore.
Mm-hmm. And understand
Yes.
what her capabilities are around and how that's expressed through her body.
Yep.
So imagine the body intelligence of a child allowed to explore its environment.
For sure.
And then that translates...
Free from the parent's fear.
Right, free from the parent's fear. Exactly. But it's so many parents viewing, listening, they go, wait, no, but I don't want my child to get hurt, right? Like, oh, it's too close to that corner. It's understandable that they have the impulse, but you're saying just watch, cautiously watch, but allow the child to explore, maybe to walk into a wall, maybe to fall on its butt. Yeah. And then that's for a reason.
Yeah, that's for a reason, because how are they going to know how to navigate? How's she going to know where her head is in space?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like literally, she was able to sit this close, like 3 inches away from the coffee table. And when she wanted to turn around or navigate around anything, she now knows where her head is in space. But before she bumped it lightly on a few things, she had no clue where her head was in space.
I think I'm still trying to figure out where my head is in space. So 37 years of me bumping into things with my head, but it makes so much sense. So then naturally the question is, how do we even start reducing lifetime accumulated stress, the stuff that we've been holding in, like you said, chemically, through society, through everyday psychological, physical. It's in our body. How do we even start even addressing it?
Well, the first thing you got to do, you have to remove tension. That is the utmost important thing. And what I mean is I don't even mean muscular tension, I also mean fascial tension, right? And the beautiful thing about traditional Chinese medicine is I study traditional Chinese medicine. I get acupuncture every once in a while, but I don't need to do that because most of the time I'm taking stress out all on my own. And what I mean is that I created a system called Bestercise, right? 16 different positions for 16 different organs, and every one of these positions removes massive amounts of lifetime accumulated stress in a very short amount of time. Okay, so basically what you're using is you're using concentric, isometric, and eccentric contractions. I know that sounds very scientific, but it's not. Basically, you're pushing against something, and then that something that you're pushing against is used to then beat your force. So the muscle's contracting maximally and lengthening simultaneously. And then what happens is when you reduce that tension that's in there, suddenly it rotates the bones into the correct positions. And now energy flows unencumbered through your system. But for every malalignment that you have between two bones, it means you have a massive amount of tension in the belly of the muscle. And when you have massive amount of tension in the belly of the muscle, what's it choking on? It's choking on vascular tissue. It's encroaching in on the space of the nerve tissue, right? It's blocking lymphatic flow. So if the lymph is flowing, the blood is flowing, the electricity is flowing, you're light and you're bright. But when you reduce that and you constrict, right? What happens? Instead of being light, you're heavy. Instead of being bright, you're dull. I had a young woman who was here that was 26 years old. We did a bit of work. She went outside, she had her glasses on. She says, how is everything that I'm looking at different? I go, what are you talking about? She goes, there's a glow around everything now. It's like, and I said, okay, so you mean that instead of it being a TV from the 70s, you're looking at a highly pixelated TV from 2022 from Best Buy. And you're looking at a rose. So imagine a rose on a TV in 1970 and a close-up of a rose, right? And it just rained in 2022. This is the one from 1970 is what most humans' vision is like.
Yeah.
When they work with me and the work that we're doing, the Bestersize, the eye-centric strength, the ICS, the body of light, all the different things that we do to reduce lifetime accumulated stress, their vision, their hearing, their smell, everything changes. Okay, a carrot is like, this is what a carrot tastes like? Because we've reduced the lifetime accumulated stress. We've taken the excessive density out of the brain, because whatever's in your body is in your brain. Whatever's in your brain is in your body. The body is the fastest way to get rid of all of it, because the body always tells the truth. The mind, it'll lie 1,000 lies. It'll tell you whatever it needs to tell you in order to keep you safe, what it thinks is safe, okay? So if you grew up in a household with a violent father who was an alcoholic, okay, it's gonna create strategies to keep it safe. So it's gonna be telling you lies all the time, right? But the body always tells the truth. So if I were to go into someone's body, if one of my practitioners goes into someone's body, we know exactly what we're touching and the behavior that's associated and the energy and the consciousness that's associated with that part of the body. We would take that out, and now suddenly the sense organ that's associated with that muscle now turns brighter, okay? Whatever's in your body is in your life. If there's aspects of your life that aren't working, the fastest way to change your outer world is not to try to control everything in your environment. It's to let go of all of the control in your environment and use all of your energy, your time, your effort, and your resources to strip that lifetime accumulated stress load down to neutral. And now suddenly, all the things that are out of place in your outer world, they're suddenly in place. Your boss comes in your office, knocks on your door, is thinking like, would you consider being the manager? And you're like, yeah, but Stephanie's been here 5 more years than me. He's like, I don't care, you're a better suit for the company. And she leapfrogs this woman who's been in this job and dedicated and focused. And why? Because she has more light running through her body. So if you gave people an option to have someone who was more bright, more present, more intelligent, more grounding, more loving, okay, and these two individuals had the same education, who would you choose?
Easy.
It's easy, because you can feel the vibe.
Exactly.
Right? So when the vibe is flowing unencumbered, meaning love is flowing unencumbered, intelligence is flowing unencumbered, your opportunities are exponential. Because the world opens up for you to share the love that you have.
Right. Over and over in ways that you didn't even expect.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's more, you are in this state of authentic self, expressing yourself. Yeah. Oh, by the way, share this with this group, share this over here. Oh, you need a platform. You wanted this job. It's all here for you.
It's right there.
And it's funny because it's sort of our, like, we have that accessible to us always. It's like we just have this lead blanket all over our body.
Us. Yeah. Inside and outside. It's shrouded over us, and it's plugged in.
Yeah. So one thing then now I'm thinking about is, in the body then, how do the muscles how do they become distorted like that? Is it through, like, are we talking about, like, I was at the gym in 2002 and I did a deadlift the wrong way, and now in my lats they're distorted, and that is causing me to not fully be me? Or are we talking about other things? Is it just like even emotional traumas are distorting my muscles and fascia?
Yeah, for sure. So when you look at muscles and fascia, you have to understand that muscles are connected to the stomach and fascia is connected to the spleen and the pancreas, right? So the thing that affects muscles the most is diet, right? And your visual input, okay? The spleen and the pancreas, they're kinesthetic organs, which means they're feel, they're sensing, they're touch. When they're high functioning, they're tuned into peacefulness and good communication and seeing the synchronicity and how all things are connected and nurturing. So if that part of your body is stressed, so let's say you were born, your father was diabetic, right? You're born with a pancreas and a spleen that's already lower functioning, right? So then that means it's more difficult for you to communicate what your desires, wants, and needs are. It's more peaceful for you to see how everything's connected, so you over-personalize. It's very difficult for you to learn how to nurture yourself or nurture others. But because those things are difficult, the behavior gets reinforced. Right? So if I don't communicate my needs, my spleen and pancreas get more stressed. Because they're more stressed, this muscle that's associated with them gets more tight. Right? So the stomach is the center for sobriety, right? That's its highest functioning quality, to be sober. Sober mind, being in reality, and sober relationship with food, okay? So it realizes, if I drink that, I get this. If I eat that, I get this.
Like clear about it.
It's clear, right? And so, but if I had a parent who had a poor relationship with food, okay, I was born with a stomach that's already stressed.
Right.
And now the environment that I'm being raised in is also stressful because they're making poor food choices. But the only reason why they're making those poor food choices is because the function, the intelligence within their stomach is being shrouded in a lead blanket. And it is being blocked from being fully expressed, right? Like when the stomach is healthy, the person wants good quality, natural, organic food. It wants the best of what's available. Right. It'll cause you to drive an extra 20 minutes to go get food.
Right.
Okay. But when the stomach is unhealthy, it'll do everything that it can to get to the most unhealthy food. Because like attracts like. Whatever's going on inside of you, you are hired and required to be attracted to. So when I take tension out of the vastus lateralis, and what that means is the outside of the front of the thigh. If I take tension out of that muscle, what happens is my stomach, that lead blanket, gets lifted off. And then suddenly I'm available to different choices. So the people that I coach, do you think I'm ever telling them what to eat and what not to eat? No, I don't need to do that. All I need to do is reduce their lifetime accumulated stress in their stomach. And suddenly they start making sober choices. And they have a sober relationship with food and beverage.
Which makes so much sense.
Yes.
Because what you're doing is allowing the body to heal, and it can express itself organically. Which takes so much stress away from so much.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to sit here and go, here's your diet plan.
Oh, no.
Literally, like, you know your diet plan. You know how to heal, which is powerful. This is what I've been saying. It's like, I much rather work so the body's intelligence knows exactly what it needs to do versus me ever again writing a treatment plan saying, do this, 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 and that.
Yeah, if I was a 400-pound guy that had a sweet tooth and I manage my stress with sugar, okay? Because you got to think when someone's an addict, and whether we're talking about caffeine, nicotine, refined sugar, alcohol, recreational pharmaceutical drugs, they're using all of these they're using all of these substances to manage their stress, right? Well, which stress? You think they're using it to manage their daily stress, or they're using it to manage their lifetime accumulated stress? Both. So if I reduce the lifetime accumulated stress, guess what happens to their attraction to substance? It disappears.
Yeah.
Dude, I have heroin addicts that have showed up. I've had cocaine addicts that have showed up. I've had people that have been addicted to ketamine. Like, I mean, serious addicts. We reduced their lifetime accumulated stress load, and now they're managing their life with the removal of stress and tension. Versus managing their life with harmful substances that destroy their brain. The problem is this: your brain is your crown chakra. Well, what does your crown chakra do? Does it do what your root chakra does? No, your crown chakra is your connection to the heavenly realms. Do you think I want my crown to pluck all the jewels out of my crown? No, I want to hear clearly what source and spirit and my guides and my angels have to say to me.
Right.
Because I want them to go, hey, turn left. Okay, cool, left. I don't want to argue with them, right? I want to be able to hear what they're saying. Like Kaya, that 8-month-old baby that I spent a week with, I want to be able to hear what she's saying clearly so that I can be present and tuned in for her. And how am I going to do that if I have so much tension in my body?
That makes so much sense, because it is the tension that is the lead blanket. The tension is what's clouding.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah,
listeners, if you're listening, you're really tuning in, he gave you the answer.
There you go.
The tension is the lead blanket that keeps your intelligence from being fully expressed. And highly intelligent beings make good decisions, right? But if your intelligence is being shrouded underneath this lead blanket from all the tension from generations and generations of employing survival-based strategies in order to survive, you are going to make poor decisions when it comes to managing your stress. Look, everyone is trying to do their best, right? There's no judgment or criticism or disapproval of any human for where they're currently at in society. But eventually, by the time I die, it will be severely understood that you're at choice now. Because when I was born, the information that I have, that I bring to the world and bring to all the listeners here, the viewers, it wasn't available. Okay, before I was born, you could not experience freedom from the inside out. It was not available. It is now available. What does that mean to be free? It means to realize you are effectively at choice. But when you're stressed, you don't have choice. You're only responding to the stressors, and you're doing everything you can to manage them. That is not a life.
Yeah. And it's like so many of us have the odds stacked against us, because we come not only from generational trauma, but we're talking about many generations ago, just purely on the instinct of, I need to survive this day.
That's right.
With food and predators. Like, that's hardwired in us to survive. And we have that already in our bodies. So it's interesting that now we have access to freedom to now shift humanity and evolve from like this survival-based organism to something that is actually empowered and actually can tune in once open and free to something so much more powerful than us. Like, what a time in humanity to be alive, right?
What a time.
What a time.
Because we can now shift into thriving-based strategies. So what's a thriving-based strategy? A thriving-based strategy is a strategy that opens me up to access more of the inherent intelligence that's inside of me. I mean, most humans are using their body like it's a skateboard. All right, take me to the toilet. Take me to the movie. Take me to the restaurant. And that's about the most they get out of it, right? This is like a highly sophisticated, this is a Starship Enterprise. Like, you can be beamed up at any moment. You can tune in at any level that you want to. Okay, and I could go into wild conversations, but I'm going to keep it very simple, right? You can tune into any level that you want to if you have access to that form of intelligence. You will never have access to that form of intelligence as long as you are full of massive amounts of lifetime accumulated stress, tension, distortion, and toxicity.
So it's interesting because I'm thinking about my body and I'm like, I have tension. I know where I have tension. I could tell you the muscles. I could tell you where. And I know I'm not talking about, hey, okay, come here, tension, let's give you a massage and it's gone. Because I get massage, tension's gone for a day, and then it's back. What are the tension strategies that are, because why am I getting a massage and why is tension coming back? Versus what needs to happen more.
Yeah, so think about it like this. You have structural health, okay, but you have tissue health. So when you're reducing your lifetime accumulated stress load, your first goal is to get your structure in alignment. And what does that mean? That means most humans, if you sat in the street and waited a camera, we saw adults going by and we were filming them, we would see that most of them, their head is in front of their chest, right? Okay, so their head is in front of their chest. What does that mean? That means they lead with their head rather than their heart. So the first goal is to do what? It's to rather than hold with your mind, your body in a specific position, it's to reduce the tension that's pushing your bones in the wrong directions. So one of my first goals when I'm working with someone is to get their head in the right position and get their chest in front of their head. Now I know they're operating from their heart, right? The brain is there to listen to the heart, not vice versa. Right? We're here to have the experience of operating from unconditional love and compassion, okay? If my head's in front of my heart, I'm leading with my head. No wife at home or woman wants her husband to solve her problems. She simply wants him to listen with an open heart.
You're telling me, man. I learned that real quick.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? And so this tension that's in the body, it has to be taken out in a very specific way. So there's an implicate order to follow when you're removing lifetime accumulated stress from the muscles and the fascia and all the structures. First, you have to address tissue health. The tissue must get healthy. What does that mean? That means if I push into your body and you have pain, that tissue's unhealthy. Well, where there's pain, there is no flow. There's no flow of what? There's no flow of chi. There's no flow of energy. There's a less of a flow of lymph. There's less of a flow of blood. There's less of a flow of electricity. So that means that part of my body is becoming unintelligent. So what do I want to do? I want to get blood, energy, consciousness, Shen, spirit, flowing through that part of the body, so then that part of the brain wakes up. And when that part of the brain wakes up, and it connects to that part of the body, now you know where you're at in this time-space reality, and you realize, I'm at choice. So these nerves that move in and out of our organs, into our muscles, back to our brain, down to the bottoms of our feet, they give us the opportunity to do what? To feel, to experience. When I'm full of tension and stress, I'm reducing my ability to feel. We have bodies so we can feel, right? So when you're getting, somebody's rubbing oil on you, that's what I call them oil rubbers, it'll help you reduce the stress that you're holding at the subcutaneous level, at the skin level, right? Very, very shallow, okay? You need deeper kind of work to get in there, to get all the way down to the bone. And once you strip that out, now we're talking. So there's a system out there that I've been working on that I've developed called Maher. And what I do is I lay traditional Chinese medicine theory over the body, right? So the meridians and the different layers that they have. And then I work within those specific channels of energy that are moving or not moving. And we get those in flow. And then once we get those in flow, like there was a young woman that I worked with that lives in Portland. And when she came to see me in 2014, and I was working on her body, it had so much pain, she was crying. I did the same exact work. I haven't done that work on her body since 2014. That's 8 years. I went back in, she was laughing. and talking, blah, 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 blah,
Wow.
blah. Because when we do the work that I do, that's gone. Okay. She hasn't received that work in 8 years. And she had the exact opposite life experience. Instead of pure pain, pure stress, pure tension, it was ease and grace.
I love that, man. And lasted.
Yes.
It lasted.
Yeah, because for me, if you're paying to go see a therapist or a body worker or an energy worker, you're making an investment. It's the same for me as if I were working with a financial advisor. If you're going to put my money in that stock or into that mutual fund, what's going to be my return on investment? If I, this is Los Angeles. So, I mean, you could go to a decent hotel here. You're going to pay $220, $160 to $220 for a bad massage. Okay. So if I'm making an investment of $160 to $220, I would expect that would make me feel good for a while. Okay. The challenge is that those forms of body work, the way that they're delivered, because they don't know how, or they don't have a process to get the person present emotionally, the emotions that are causing the tension never change. And so the person gets some physical relaxation, but the next day, those emotions pull that physical body right back into the position that it was before. My first form of education was accounting, right? I was into business.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure if I was making an investment, the people who are making an investment in me to help them, I want to make sure they get a really good return on their investment, better return on their investment than I promise you anybody in the world is delivering. Okay? Because I under-promise and I over-deliver. But the thing is, because I figured out everything that I figured out in the implicate order that you're meant to follow, I can produce the same result every single time. It doesn't matter if they're from Russia. It doesn't matter if they speak English. It doesn't matter if they're blind. It doesn't matter if they have a low IQ. The result is exactly the same.
That's so powerful, man. And I'm so happy you're teaching people how to do this too, because obviously you're one person. We need like more of you to be able to bring people to their authenticity, man. And that's such a powerful way. I really resonate with the body and the raising children and just lifetime accumulated stress. I mean, I felt tension and I know where it is. And, I get myofascial release sometimes and they'll press it. I'll be like, oh my God, my lad is killing me right there, So I really resonate, man. Your book that I mentioned, what was the name of it?
The name of the book is Free for Life, a U.S. Navy SEAL's unique path to inner freedom and outer peace.
I love that. And what can we find in that book?
What you will find is more depth of what we've been talking about in this conversation. I'll go a little bit deeper. By the time you read the book, you will fully understand what I'm talking about, and a light will turn on and you'll go, I definitely need to find him and that work, and I need to be investing in that, because if you could give me $5 and I could turn it into $1 million for you, why would you give somebody else $5 that's going to give you $1 worth of value? Right? The beautiful thing about what we do is I teach you how to do it to yourself. I refuse to build a codependent, dependent relationship with anyone. And if you are a client and I am a practitioner, already we're starting from a dependent, codependent position. I don't want that. My best job is to teach you, okay? Because now you have the tools. You don't need me. All you need is the effort and the energy, the discipline and the commitment to yourself. And there's a ton of people out there that are those people, right? But there's other people, they're not going to put any time, energy, effort into themselves. I'm not your guy. I'm the guy that takes the people who are hungry to be the best version of themselves and to bring light and love and more consciousness to the planet and have a life of ease and grace and shift them out of where they're in struggle and strife. And you want to put in the time and the energy and the effort. And the beautiful thing is the plan that I give you takes 15, 20 minutes a day. That's it. 15, 20 minutes a day. And every month you are exponentially more intelligent and present.
That's so powerful.
You're not going to find that anywhere else on the planet. I promise you. You look high, you might not even find it in this solar system or this galaxy. The way that we're doing this is next level.
I love that, man. And I love that you're so proud of your creation.
Oh.
I can feel the integrity and the authenticity behind it. Like, you know what you're here to give, and you're giving it, and you're like, this is it. This is what I'm giving you, you know? And 15, 20 minutes a day, man, I spend 20 minutes scrolling on Instagram, you know? So anyone has 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We can find it.
More money.
Yeah.
Better sex, right? Better digestion. Women, come on. Women have a difficult time pooping.
Mm-hmm.
No, work on having regular bowel movements, feeling good. Women deal with menstruation, right? You want that energy in your body to move correctly. If it was moving correctly, you wouldn't have menstruation issues, okay? People are dealing with serious sleep issues. Every time I go into Air One, there's a new sleep formula.
Yeah.
Like, okay, reduce your lifetime accumulated stress and you will drop down into 4th-stage regenerative sleep. If you only get 5 hours, you'll still feel like Superwoman. Versus I got 9 and I feel like an old bag, okay? Like I feel stressed and strained.
Yeah.
So I want them, the listeners, the people who take action, to understand that there's actually real solutions. I'm not talking about Band-Aids. I'm talking about solutions. And it's really simple. So we'll go full circle. It's about reducing your lifetime accumulated stress.
That's what it's about, man. And if anyone viewing or listening, that is the buzzword for you to understand what is happening in the body, why it's happening in the body, how it's manifesting in your reality that you're experiencing, really. It's like what you said is the inner is the outer?
Yes, whatever's going on in your body is occurring in your life.
Yeah.
Like if you got a boyfriend that's cheating on you, right? Well, there's something going on inside of you that you're attracting someone like that, right? If you continue to keep getting in car accidents every like 6 or 7 months, there's something going on inside of you that's distorted, that's attracting this to you. If you keep getting rejected in your interviews for work, there's something going on inside of you that's causing this, right? We only can attract what we are and what we aren't for the purpose of understanding where we are in our development of consciousness.
Beautiful.
Right? We're on Earth. It's a 3rd dimensional plane of pure contrast. You get it? Well, how do we experience a contrast? Projection, reflection, manifestation, and generation. So whatever's going on inside of you, the world is hired and required to be a mirror to show you, hey, there's something off here.
Yeah.
Look inside, don't look outside. These people out here, they're not your problems. The institutions aren't your problems. The governments aren't your problems. Your mom's not your problem. Your wife is not your problem. Your kids aren't your problem. You're your problem. And if you could reduce and get a mirror, right, you could reduce that lifetime accumulated stress, those problems would disappear. Literally, overnight.
I love that, man. Amen to that. How can we find you? Where website or where can
Simple. TrueBodyIntelligence.com.
Okay.
It's all in the word. It's true. It's about the body, and it's about raising your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual intelligence so you can have the experiences that you want. If you want more love, you want a love in relationship, great. Reduce your lifetime accumulated stress. You want to sleep better, great. Reduce your lifetime accumulated stress. If you want more money, some people that's their gig, they want more money. Boom, reduce your lifetime accumulated stress. You want more visibility, reduce your lifetime accumulated stress, okay?
I love it, bro. Thank you so much for coming on the show, man. Everyone go get the book. Everyone go on the website. Everyone go check it out. This is like amazing stuff. Really resonated with me. This is only part 1. We're going to have you back on.
Okay.
We got to go deeper. We got to talk all about the crazier stuff that we wanted to go into later.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
It's a pleasure to have you, man.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you for listening.
Thank you.